What's good, YouTube? This is Kevin Cruz, back with another NBA 2K22 showcase for one of the best players in the game, Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek Freak. And in this episode of our signature series, we're going to showcase how to attack from Giannis's favorite spots from the floor. It's from the top of the key, from the lower left block, and in transition to maximize Giannis's unique attributes in order to dominate the game. So before we get started, I'd appreciate a sub if you haven't already. A thumbs up would really help the channel as well, or even a comment asking a question, giving suggestions. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. We're a small channel, so we're fending off that algorithm every single day. #AlgoFyourself. And with that, let's get started with the video on how to play more like Giannis Antetokounmpo. So let's start with one of the Greek Freak's favorite spots on the floor, and that's the lower left block or from a low post position. We want to first establish our post fadeaway jump shot, which will set up the next set of moves that we'll discuss in the series, what I'd like to call the shoulder fake series. Our first move is a spin fake to a post hook, which is set up by the spin fake and cancelled directly into a post hook to create a lot of space. So to execute a spin fake with a live dribble, you want to hold L2 and R2 and tap the right stick to the left, in this case, or towards the baseline. Now this move works because that spin fake will force a reaction out of your defender. As soon as you see your defender react to that animation, you want to hold the right stick up and to the right to counter into a smooth post hook. So as you've seen in that clip right there, it can work against much taller players because of the space that it creates, and it's overpowered if you have someone much smaller than you in the post. You can also combine a post drive fake, this time holding L2 and R2 and tapping the right stick towards the middle of the floor, and then countering with a post hook. So as with any setup, you want to make sure that you're able to counter depending on what the defense gives you. In this case, they're giving me the middle of the floor, so I counter directly into a momentum hook shot out of a drive to the middle. Now, in a situation where they try to deny that momentum hook shot or momentum layup, you want to make sure that you have different counters, and in this case, I spin directly back towards the opposite direction and launch into a dunk if they close out hard. The next set of moves uses the post HESI disengage, launch directly into a between the legs dribble, which takes us directly towards the basket. Now you want to make sure that you master how to set up this move, and it's a delayed launch by holding the left stick up and to the left after the HESI while not holding turbo. So make sure you practice this move because it involves a lot of timing and you have to be precise in your inputs. Now the important part here is delaying the launch will actually fool your defender into committing your right hand, and if you launch with that between the legs HESI, it will create enough contact to take you directly towards the basket. Just make sure that you finish appropriately depending on what the defense gives you. Again, as you can see here, I use my offhand in order to push the defender away and launch me directly into the basket. This move is extra effective using Giannis because of his physical attributes and his strength. He's able to muscle his way around defenders and is quick enough to do that blow by and launch directly into a finishing animation, whether it's a dunk or finishing through contact. Giannis is strong enough and has a very high layup rating, which enables him to finish through traffic and basically plow his way through defenders and directly towards the basket. And Giannis's unique skills are best showcased here against Rudy Gobert, one of the best defenders in the game. He's able to move around Gobert because of his speed, but also his strength will allow him to finish through contact regardless of whether Gobert is in good position or not. As you can see in this clip right here, we use our offhand to push off Rudy Gobert as we initiate that layup. This move is only possible because of Giannis's unique strength and skill and his ability to finish basically. So instead of doing the slow between the legs launch with the left stick, you can do a standard crossover counter by holding the left stick up into the left or up into the right towards your non-ball hand while using turbo. Now if your defender is able to stick through you, use Giannis's unique ability to spin off of that move and counter with a dunk or a finesse layup. The next move is a spin counter as you are backing down your defender, basically being a post bully and able to spin away from contact using your defender's momentum against them. As you can see here, I back down Wendell Carter Jr. You can see in his face, he's feeling the pain of that Giannis back down. And then as he is bracing for contact, I spin away from him and I'm able to slide away from Wendell Carter Jr. and finish with a dunk. And of course, we know the best way to maximize Giannis Antetokonumpo is by being a downhill beast. After a defensive stop, we want to race towards the opposite end of the floor, attack defenders, try to get them in mismatches and cross matches, and our ability to finish through contact is complemented by our ability to combine dribble SIGs with different layup finishes, dunk finishes in order to create havoc and attack the paint downhill. So my first rule when using Giannis downhill is to see what the floor is giving you. Okay, so I matched up with Wendell Carter Jr. In this case, I gave him a quick between the legs dribble move and I see him moving backwards. So I counter initially with a Euro step layup and he's not ready for it. So we want to keep doing this. We want to keep blending dribble SIGs with different types of finishes, taking what the defense gives us and countering depending on how the defense reacts. As you can see here, I use another between the legs dribble in order to get Gobert to move to my left, so I counter with a Euro step to the right. I anticipate contact, use the right dribble SIG, and blend that with the right layup finish in order to maximize our ability to counter off contact and finish in the paint. Again, just attack mismatches as Giannis is able to finish through contact regardless of who's defending him. So in these next few clips, you can sort of see what my favorite move is with Giannis. It's going between the legs, trying to shift the defender around to see what angle he gives me, and finish with a Euro step layup or a cradle layup depending on what angle I am given. So again, it's anticipating contact. If I see him shading me to my left, I Euro step to the right. Sometimes I can even power through contact. As you can see here, I basically use Giannis' strength to push Gobert away from me just by initiating a simple layup towards the basket. But definitely, if you want to use Giannis, you got to be used to that Euro step and combining that with the right dribble SIGs. So lastly, even in a half-court setting, you want to be thinking downhill if you're using Giannis. Defenses will likely give you space in order to entice you to shoot a jump shot, but use that space as a launching pad to get you directly towards the basket. So the same principles apply. Use your different dribble SIGs, take an angle, and counter with the right layup finish. Here you can see my offhand is setting up the contact, which will allow me to finish in traffic against Wendell Carter Jr. Even against Rudy Gobert, for example, just use the right dribble SIGs and you're 1 or 2 steps away from the basket. This is again Giannis' unique ability to use the space that's given to him to form a launching pad directly into the basket. You just want to combine your different dribble SIGs, your different Euro step layups, or even your power finishes depending on what the defense gives you, depending on what angle they react to when you're using your different dribble SIGs. So there you have it. I hope you learned something from this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Using Giannis is not my preferred playstyle. I'm more of a finesse guy using a lot of dribble moves. But surprisingly, Giannis was one of the most fun players to use in the game because of his ability to combine skill moves and power moves, and his physical attributes basically make him unguardable. So I passed the Rudy Gobert Hall of Fame difficulty test with flying colors. I can't say that too often using different guys in the paint. So I hope you enjoyed this one. Let me know in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.